we're fighting an asymmetric war now with Iran, and they have their
Hmm.
Shahed drones that are going up against all of our technology. It's always unforeseen, but there's going to be some left behinds that are going to be hugely problematic because they're going to say, "Hold on a second, you're
Yeah.
not going to leave us eating mud while you're, up in space eating steak." Like,
Yeah.
what do you think happens there?
Yeah. I mean, this is a different form of the Thucydides trap where, like, before you lose your power forever, use what you got to keep the other guy from dominating you permanently. And that's exactly what you're naming. And actually, a lot of the psychology of the people running the labs isn't even so much now like, I need to win. It's, I can't lose to you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so this is why, a number of people believe that it's not actually a race to AGI, it's a race to World War III, because whoever gets that permanent strategic advantage, like the mythos that can hack like at the next level up, like any computer get into any nuclear power plant can shut down like the opponent's weapons, like whoever gets that first has permanent dominance. And no country will let the other country have that. China won't let the US have that. The US won't let China have that. And this is there are two branches here. There's the super scary, and that's how we end up with like kinetic strikes. Like maybe it's not so wise for me to be living near San Francisco. That's sort of like a major hub. Um,
Sure.
or people see like and leaders see better than all out war and heading into World War III is we do the coordination now and we agree that no one player can get access to like that kind of permanent dominance. Um,
Mm.
I don't know if that's going to happen, but this is why I keep coming back to the confusion in people's minds that when they say we have to beat that, when we have to get that strategic dominance forever, they are still imagining the thing they control.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It happens. It's so subtle. It just happens in their mind. As soon as, and then you flip them back into the, but that's actually a sociopathic genius, doesn't care about you and is banded together with other AIs. Um, then you realize that we're racing towards the wrong thing, which is why I think we have to redefine the nature of the race that we're in to who
Mm-hmm.
can make the strongest cybernetic society that is good at governing. Because to put it just really simply, what happens when you accelerate and you don't steer? You crash. So
Yeah.
this shouldn't be a race to just accelerate, it should be a race to steering. Like that's how you
On
actually
that,
win.
yeah, and I agree. And on that positive note, we're going to do some warm and fuzzies.
Oh, good.
When I graduated college, I started working for Greenpeace because I was like, well, it's politically everything's nuanced and confusing, but environment good, people bad. What we do to the environment. So I'll go work for Greenpeace, and then Greenpeace just ate itself because people can't do
Yeah.
anything. But your Earth Species Project. Now, I love this because
Yeah.
it's sort of communicating, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but sort of using AI to communicate with animals, and you found all kinds of amazing things. But I want you to tell me the warm and fuzzy
Hmm.
stories there. Whales, dolphins. I think there's one where a chicken makes a certain sound to the baby, so they have names
Hmm.
and all
Hmm.
this stuff.
Hmm.
Fascinating. Maybe just let's talk about if we do get it right, and we're not Star Wars, we're Star Trek. It's not
Hmm.
dystopian. It's sort of moderately utopian, and we get it right, and we don't have to work, so it frees us up to do things like communicate with our nature and our world and animals and trees and God knows what else. Give us. I mean, I love this. I do not know anything about it, and I'm pretty sure most people don't either. So
Yeah.
give us the sort of the primer on that.
Yeah, yeah. So this is Earth Species Project, and the whole goal of it is if we can understand the language of the other species of Earth and the other cultures of Earth, um, well, it changes how we relate to the rest of nature. Like it opens us up to the awe and the wonder of what's around us. And so, just to give a couple examples, it's so it turns out parrot parents will spend the first couple year or a couple weeks of their chick's life leaned over each chick, whispering a unique name, which they will then use for the rest of their life.
Amazing.
Which it's just so beautiful. Like what's
Mm-hmm.
deeper than having a name and an identity? And it turns out dolphins do the same thing, elephants do the same thing.
Wow.
dolphins, it turns out, not only will like use a name that their mothers give them, but they can refer to each other. They'll talk about another dolphin that isn't there by name. Um, and one of the researchers that just joined our team, just before she joined Earth Species, she discovered that they will continue to use their mother's name even after she's passed away.
Wow.
Which again, so profound, because we're talking about like lineage and memory and family, and we don't know what they're saying, but you can imagine relationships, exactly, legacy. It is so profound. And we can just keep going. Another crazy dolphin experiment I think is very interesting is 1994. They gave dolphins, they sort of were teaching dolphin pairs different gestures, and the first gesture was do something you've never done before. And they'll actually learn how to do that. They will learn how to understand that concept, remember everything they've done before that session, and invent a new thing that they've never done before, which is already cool, because innovation is something we think is normally just humans. And then they'll give a second gesture, do something together, and they'll say to two different dolphin pairs, do something you've never done before together. And they go down and they exchange sonic information, and they come up and they do the same thing they've never done before at the same time, which just blows my mind. And the thing that we keep discovering is, just like when we pointed the Hubble telescope back in 1995, or scientists did, at the empty patch in sky. And what did they discover? They didn't discover nothing. They discovered the most number of galaxies we had ever seen before in a single spot. And that's what we're discovering as we're pointing our new AI tools at the natural world. What we're discovering is that actually we know almost nothing. And to give an example from our own research, with crows, like we think we all know crows, we hear them all the time. What we found out is that the sum total of what humanity knows about crows that has been published on that scientists talk about was only 30% of their actual communication system. So the supermajority, 70% of crow communication, turns out are these quiet, close, intimate calls, sort of whispers they make while they fly. And science is just completely unaware of it. So we really believe in the next 4 or 5 years, we'll be able to deeply understand and peer into the other minds and cultures of Earth. And then our hope is that there's a kind of My Octopus Teacher moment where, when I talk to people about the film My Octopus Teacher, I asked how many people have watched it, many people raised their hand, how many people stopped eating octopus, many of those hands stay up. And is that because the movie made you feel bad? Was there shame, guilt involved? No, it just opened the door to the wonder and love and awe of what was already there. And this is how we then end up at that line: the way we treat nature is the way the AI will treat us. We're just following our incentives.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that. Yeah. That's my next thing right there. I mean, you explained it beautifully. I want to just get to, like, what species has, because I find this A, fascinating, and B, as you're talking, I'm like, maybe we're not doomed. What species has surprised you the most so far? Like, what are the biggest sort of wow, kind of?
Yeah, well, I mean, the one I just gave on crows just blew my mind.
Yeah, crows.
The other one is beluga. Beluga are insane. When you actually listen to beluga, they don't sound like a dolphin or a humpback. They have this thing that sounds almost like it's like they sound like an alien modem. They speak, it seems, more in like modem-like packets.
Wow.
When they give their hellos. And there you're like, okay, so 70% was pretty bad for science to be unaware of. For crows, for belugas, it's 97%.
Amazing.
For dolphins, like half of the communication, science says, is signature whistles or names, even though there's a lot of variations that they don't understand. But okay, let's assume half communication is names. The other half, they just call non-signature whistles. So it's sort of like you're trying to understand human communication, and you're like, okay, we've got it figured out. Human communication consists of names and then other things they say which are non-names. Like that's where we are. We're just, there's a graph that I love to show, which is, I call it the most humble graph because it includes all of time and all of space. And it's just showing what is the range of the human experience. And if you try to draw the box of what can be perceived to what human beings perceive, it's a dot so small you can't see it. Like the sum total of that which is out there to be experienced is unexperienceable by us.